Hey everyone, Scott David, the Director of Investigations at Animal Outlook here. There's a new streaming series called Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It's about the USS Enterprise before Captain James Kirk, the man who revolutionized hand-to-hand combat. So let's go ahead and talk about Star Trek. The futuristic world of Star Trek is supposed to be much closer to an ideal society than what we have now, with advancements in culture, medicine, space travel, and recreation that greatly improve people's lives. The Federation as a society doesn't even have currency for people to earn. So no credits or talking money with Richard Nixon's face on it in this world. Instead, people's basic needs are just met and they do what they're passionate about, like science or fanfiction writing. And human beings mostly get along with the alien species featured, at least those that are part of the Federation. People also get along better with animals. One of the more iconic peoples in Star Trek canon, the Vulcans, are culturally vegetarians. And though you may see some meat-like food items upon the Enterprise, the food typically comes from replicators, so it's not actually from the bodies of once living beings. As Commander Riker says in the Star Trek The Next Generation episode Lonely Among Us, they no longer enslave animals for food purposes, which makes a lot of sense to me. I definitely wouldn't want to enslave tribbles. Would you? The replicators in Star Trek use inorganic materials to produce pretty much anything the crew of a starship would need, from food or drink to machinery and weapons. They were so widely used that often people never bothered to learn to cook, as the machines could produce anything they wanted without much effort. I myself just drink a lot of meal replacement shakes, so I'm already totally down with not cooking. Anyway, back here in the 21st century, we're also hard at work replicating foods. Plentiful plant-based alternatives to meat exist, a lot of which actually look and taste similar to what they're copying, like the vegan fried chicken sandwiches I'm always eating on the weekends. But there are companies trying something even more Star Trek-like. They're trying to replicate actual meat, not through conventional farming, but in a laboratory environment instead. For lab-grown meats, they take samples of cells from existing animals and place them in bioreactors in a growth medium for shaping them into different forms. By some estimates, this process could require 95% less land and water than farming, but the energy usage is high, so high that lab-grown pork or chicken would actually have a higher carbon footprint than traditional farming, unless the production facility relies heavily on renewable energy. It can also curb the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, as antibiotics wouldn't have to be used on animals at nearly the same scale they're being used today. It's worth noting, though, that lab-grown meat is also much more expensive than farmed meat right now, with the absolute cheapest examples being double the normal price, so don't expect it on any dollar menus anytime soon. The price has changed significantly, though, from almost a decade ago, when it cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per pound. The price could continue to decrease as the technology improves. A few companies working on lab-grown meat are developing plant-based mediums made of stuff like tobacco, or even using things like fermentation techniques. So there is hope that some companies could remove slaughter from the equation eventually. So how close is cultured meat to being available for purchase? Well, lab-grown chicken meat that's still used in older growth medium was approved for sale in Singapore in late 2020. Cultured meat isn't available for sale in the US yet, but the USDA and FDA have announced that they'll work together to regulate its production. So the government is taking this seriously. Will cultured meat take off and replace farmed meat? Or is it a future that will never come to pass, like when we thought everyone was going to be riding around on Segways? I do not know, but if you're looking to try some more widely available food that replicates animal products, I'd recommend the tons of plant-based options already available at restaurants and grocery stores. So that's it for today. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and live long and prosper.